Hi, I'm Ann Ferguson, and this is my walk and talk that I do every weekday morning. I walk 6 to 8 miles a day, hopefully, that's the goal. And in that process, I talk about things that are on my heart, things that help people. I'm a professional mentor, I'm an author, and I'm a creator. I'm a dreamer. I'm a dreamer, and I get things done because of my dreaming. So today, that's what we're going to talk about, is dreaming and why we don't, why it's important, how to do it. So when I was little, probably like you, dreamed a lot, imagined. Think back for a second, what was your favorite imagination game to play? You didn't stop yourself from doing that. You just dreamed. You just played. You just imagined. Like, what would it be like if? Playing the what if game. And then you got your heart set on something. And depending on your parentage, most parents would say, get your head out of the clouds. Stop dreaming. You need to get your homework done. You need to do this. You need to do that. And even though your heart was calling you to something, it wasn't adult to dream. So one of the things that I learned in my process of dreaming and exploring this is that when you don't have emotional vocabulary, then ideas and dreams don't come true. I'll tell you why. Because there's a process that happens with your dreams. There's a thought. It kind of comes from outside of you. You got this idea, this thought that comes into your head. And the more you chew it up and the more that you play with it and you kind of envision it and what would it be like and all that, then there's something that happens, and that is that thought, the more you think about it, becomes belief, becomes possibility. And you can kind of see it, right? When it's in belief, it actually drops down to your subconscious mind. And once that subconscious mind takes over, then what happens is you start to feel all the possibility, the excitement. But it's more than the excitement, is what happens when you're there. And when that starts to show up, your body is full of vibrational energy. Everything in this world vibrates. Did you know that? Atoms is what makes up everything around here. And atoms are positive and a negative electric charge. So it vibrates. Light vibrates. Do you know we're talking right now through light? That communication channels are all light waves. Light that we can't see. But they've learned how to harness light. I'm reading a book called The Spiritual Physics of Light right now. Absolutely fascinating that all of this that we're doing right now is through light. So light is vibrational energy. Thoughts are vibrational energy. But what's really powerful, the really powerful thing is the vibrations in our body. Because when you feel something, you're emanating out that feeling. That's why you can walk into a room, you can tell the person who's feeling really sad. You can just sense it. Well, what you're sensing is the vibration that's coming from their emotion. I was thinking about this yesterday, how much this matters and how it really actually pertains to our dreams. Okay, so you know how there's like some movies where the person, usually scary ones, where the person doesn't want to breathe or make a sound. Or like on Dune, if you ever watched that, they have to walk in this really weird pattern because if they actually walk in a rhythmic way, the great big worm thingy senses it. What are they sensing? Vibration. Sound is vibration, so you don't want to talk. Why? Because it will attract things to you. So, when you are vibrating with possibility, everything you need is on its way. So in my post this morning, I talked about what it looks like to have people who won't support you. That's ridiculous. Get your head out of the clouds. I don't know how you think you're going to make that happen. You know what? You do you. That vibrational energy of disbelief in you is real. And if you capture that, poof, there goes your dreams. They're gone. Until you go, no, I'm actually going to believe. I started dancing when I was 4 years old. I was a ballerina. I saw the Nutcracker when I was 3.5 years old, and I said, I want to be a dancer. And of course, everybody thought I was super cute because I was like 3 years old. And my mom said, honey, you're not old enough. Guess what? I had seen myself dancing. I wanted to be just like them. I held it in my brain. I didn't know I was doing this. I didn't know it's a thing. And I told my mom when I had my birthday, I am now old. Put me in dance. So my mom took me to a local dance studio and said to the teacher, okay, look, I know you don't take people until they're 6, but she wants to be here. And what I need is for her to take just one class and for you to tell her no, because she's not taking it from me. She's just not old enough. She's 4. So I took class. It's probably the first time I really officially got my dreams made true, because the teacher said, so unfortunately, she's ready. She is all ready. She's mature enough. She listens. Her body coordination is good. She can dance. Let's do it. So I did something. I skipped over all the steps of all the other kids because I believed that I was going to be a dancer. Now let's fast forward years and years and years. Now I'm at the School of Ballet West, and we were being picked to work with the corps. I danced with them several times. I remember sitting backstage and watching the prima ballerina. Her name was Lee Provenchade. And I sat there just in awe of her, and I went, I want to be her for real. And immediately I heard my dad's words in my head of disbelief. Pipe dream, if you will. Hobby. It was just a hobby of mine. From 4 to 17, that's a long hobby. Lots of training, hours and hours in the studio. But I believed in him. He was older. He knew more. He was wiser than me. He had more money. I was being frivolous. I'd been trained for most of my life that he, was a skeptic. He was pessimistic, realist, he would call himself. And I believed him. So I went to go audition for college programs, and it got to the point where even I auditioned for one school. They were interested in me, and I was really excited. They came home, and he said, I don't know why you even think you're going to college. I don't have any money. My brothers were taking all the money because of drug abuse for the lawyer fees. That's where the money was going. And I believed him. And so I went to another school that was not as prestigious and did not feed into that professional company for professional stuff. And I went against my heart. I did what my dad kind of suggested, I guess, if you will. I got half tuition scholarship. I danced and my heart sunk almost the whole time. I ended up in a really, really bad place by the end of that year. And I never went back to dance. I never did the Lee Provenchade thing because I believed in unbelief. So I want you to think just a minute about your realist, quote unquote, parents, right? And how much did they get frustrated with your dreams? Because if that is the case, it would make it really hard for you to be a dreamer. Because subconsciously, you're kind of going against your parents if you do dream. we need to flip this around and look at our celestial parent. This book I'm reading really puts back into perspective. It's a different book, not the light book, a different perspective about dreams and what happens. So if I believe in impossibility, then I'm actually vibrating with impossibility. And all of the doors that could open, they don't, because I'm not attracted to them. They're not attractive to me. Conversations that would lead me into a certain place don't happen. So for instance, maybe, let's put it this way, maybe you are having infertility issues and you want to adopt. It's been a long time. A lot of work. It's hard to keep hope in those situations, right? Keep the dream alive that you're going to have this baby in your hands, all that. Well, it comes a point where you either believe or you don't. And let's say a couple decides, it's not worth it, I'm too tired, I can't do this anymore. And they walk into an elevator, and there's a man standing there. And they keep their heads down and hold hands and squeeze, and they walk out of the elevator. But what if they haven't stopped? What if they sit in, I wonder how this is going to happen? Like it's taking way longer than I know. I wonder how this is going to work out. And they walk into the elevator, and there's that man, and they say hello. He says hello, and he sees that they're pushing a button that goes up to the adoption agency. He says, hey, are you two looking to adopt? And they say yes. He says, oh, because my niece is about to deliver. She just hasn't been able to find the right birth parents yet. Would you be interested in talking with her? And they all walk out, and the possibility just happened. Why? Because they were vibrating with possibility. And that man in the elevator showed up feeling the possibility. So he opens his mouth. Okay, so I want you to think just a minute. I would love you to claim a couple of things that are really scary. To actually say, do you know, I never told anyone about that moment backstage with Lee Provence today. I kept it in my heart. I didn't ever write it down or really commit to it because I didn't know how I was going to get there. That's the big thing, guys. We don't know how, so we stop dreaming. I believed, actually, there's another reason why we don't dream. I believed that if I wanted more than what I had, this is kind of conditioned from my ex-husband, if I wanted more than I had, then I was ungrateful for what I have. Do you know that dreaming actually isn't a sign of ingratitude? It's actually a sign of gratitude, of knowing that all things are possible and God can help you. So when you don't dream, it's the parable of the talents. You bury your talents in the sand and you don't make it happen. Whereas other people are like, oh, I've got this. I have no idea how. God does. Hey, God, what do you think? This is what I would love to do. I'm kind of excited about it. It's not anything that's like sinful or off the covenant path, if you want to call it that. It's just, I would love to experience this while I'm on this earth life. Can we experience this? Will you help me? I didn't even open up the ads of the newspaper because I was afraid I was going to want something. And then I was going to feel resentful about my life. And I didn't want to resent my husband or my kids. And so I absolutely shut down everything that was dreaming. And then one day, there was a thought that came into my head. I spoke it out loud, actually, to my ex because he was having an affair and didn't think I knew about it, and things were really bad. The thought that came is, there's got to be somebody out there who will love me, who will cherish me and appreciate me and support me and have fun with me and feel blessed that I'm in their lives. got to be somebody. And I actually spoke it out loud. And when I spoke it out loud, man, did it land. Like landed in my entire frame. I said I wanted it to be him, and I did. But I finally was realizing that, no, my dream is to have a relationship in which I am seen and heard and understood and loved. And I would have received it from him, should he choose. If he'd chosen to step into that, I absolutely would have, even with the affair. But he didn't. And that dream landed. And immediately things started to change. That's what we need to get to, guys, with the dreaming. So I want to hear from you. What is something that feels kind of scary that you are dreaming of? I'll tell you mine. I've got some people in my space right now who are telling me I actually need to do a podcast. Not just this little walk and talk alone in my Facebook does not spread me very far. And I'm okay with that. I like the small. But I also know that God wants some of this stuff that I talk about and the way that I talk about it to be out into bigger spaces. But the podcast, I'm excited about it. It's growth. I love growth. There's this fear about it too. I don't know what the fear is, but it's kind of holding me back. It's more discomfort because I don't know what it's going to be like. The voices of the adversary saying, don't do it. You're going to get overwhelmed. Production is you're going to get behind. It's going to bury you. You're being distracted from other things that you're trying to accomplish and blah, blah, blah. I can hear blah, 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 blah. So I go, well, I guess this is a thing. So what does that lead to? Well, I already do public speaking, but it lends itself to people actually knowing who I am and inviting me into doing firesides. I've done several, but I would like to do more. Conferences. That exposure, what does that look like to me? I don't even know. So today I'm going to spend some time dreaming. And I'm going to envision. And I'm going to write. I'm going to connect, and I'm going to let the feelings of the possibilities be in my body. That is how we dream. Now, one of the things about dreams that's really important to know, don't give them to people who are going to take your string that's soaring up to the sky and yank it down like a tether. Not everyone has to have your dreams. It's not actually appropriate for everybody to have your dreams. Those who can rally with you, who can support you, who believe in you, who are dreamers themselves because they know how to do this, man, let them know all day long exactly what you're doing. Receive the support. Those are the people that get to have my dreams. Why? Because as they believe in me, that vibrational energy hits me and I start believing with belief too. Now, I don't have to have their belief in order to do it. I get to have God's belief. I can say, I want to know that you are supporting me and are behind me. Because you've said in your scriptures that with you, all things are possible. And I don't want to do something that is not part of my life plan. So I'm totally willing to do this your way. It's not about the how. It's about what do I feel. So having a podcast, being invited to come speak, what does that feel like? It feels like credibility. It feels like purpose. It feels to me like being used and supported by God. That no matter where I go, I'm safe. What does that look like? Is there anything about that I want to shift around? Like if I get oh shoot, no, that's not going to be good. Is there anything within that I can go, but I don't have to have it that way. What would I love? What would I love to experience in my life? Now, it's not genie in the bottle crap, so just know that. When you start to dream, it's not rubbing it and bam, there it is in front of you. But everything you need will be brought forward, and you will have the energy that you need to sustain whatever it is you're doing. It is so fun, you guys. There's a quote that I love that talks about God doesn't want you to simply endure your life. That's pretty grim and stoic. He wants you to enjoy it, to shape it. I love that. As I dream, even just the little ounces of my day, I can practice this. It doesn't have to be great big. Today, I am dreaming of completing a project. It's for you guys. And for feeling that accomplishment. I'm so excited about it. I'm so excited. So I would love for you to dream today. Dream today about today. What would you love? Stop saying what would you want. Don't use the words want. Want means lack. So one little shift that I can give you is to stop saying what I want is. When you want something, it's outside of you. It's something that somebody or an opportunity is to bring you. You're kind of waiting at the whim, not having. So want actually in our feelings brings not having. That vibrational energy of want, pining over, longing for, it doesn't bring it to you. It keeps it away because it says, my vibration is stay away. I always want to be in want. Do you always want to be in want? Then stop wanting and start loving. So you say, what I would love is. It's different than desire. I used to say what I desire is, but I found that was triggering a thing in me where if I got what I wanted because I wanted it, then somebody else didn't get what they wanted. So that was kind of childhood stuff, right? If I got this, they didn't have that opportunity, or they didn't have the car ride, or they didn't have the money. Kind of like my brothers with the lawyer bills. They got the money for lawyer bills, and I didn't get any support for college. So desire, I've taken out as well. If desire works for you, what I desire is, totally do it. But for me, it does not work. What I would love. I'm going to ask that question. Hey, Ann, what would you love to experience today? What would you love? Ooh, I'm so excited. What would you love this podcast to do for people? What would you love your life to look like? Your business to look like? I have trained mentors who will stand with you in your dreams. What does it look like? It looks like people taking these classes that actually real time helps them have somebody who believes in them, teaches them how to connect with God without a failure and fear of disappointment, actually connects you with the Savior and all of His grace and support and help. I would love for you to come and be mentored. I would love for you to have somebody who stands with you in your stuff, real time, real support, in a way you've never experienced before, so that you can start dreaming and you can watch all of those dreams actually come into your being. It's totally possible. I know it. I started at age 3. Dreaming is good. All right, everybody, you have a beautiful day, and I will see you later. Oh, ready? Acronym for dream. Daring, to receive everything awesome and meaningful. That's what dreaming is. Daring to receive everything awesome and meaningful. So, go be dreamers. Be willing to receive. All right, we'll see you later.